Hello, guys. Hello, guys. Please tell me, can you see me and can you hear me? Because I had an adventure right now. So happy you stayed and you waited. You know that I am always on time, and my amazing team knows that. Uh, um, but something happened. And it did not let me. I could see your messages, but it did not turn on the camera. And it's always a problem if you have to restart. Thank you so much, Rick. And so I'm sorry I was late, but then I had refreshed everything, and miraculously it is on. So thank you so much. Really happy that all of you here, because there are a lot of things that we need to discuss. But first of all, I want to thank all of you for waiting for me. I was reading the conversation. What is interesting, like the video was not working, but I could read the messages. And first of all, I want to thank the amazing team of moderators who kept you informed. And thank you so much, Philip. Thank you so much, Rudy. Thank you so much, Martin. And thank you so much, Spencer. And just like, whew, I need some water. And actually, there are a lot of things that we have to discuss today. And I have prepared videos for you too. But a lot of people are talking a lot about the talks that are coming, and we are nervous, we are very disappointed, and I will share more of that with you. But anyway, thank you so much, and thank you so much, Michael, and thank you and thank you, Andrea, right now for making our community stronger. And you know that we've adopted adopted kittens on the channel, so I have to say hello, kittens, not just hello, guys. And also, at this very beginning of our conversation, I'm really happy to greet you literally in very different corners of the world. It's such an honor that we have friends literally everywhere. And it's not only me, it's just you, because I know a lot of beautiful stories when you actually meet with each other, when you talk with each other. And I want to thank Bivan and my moderators. Keep control of everything that is happening. Thank you so much for all the sponsorship, and greetings to so many different places. Greetings to Germany, and greetings to Kenya. Some special people are watching us, so warmest hugs that way. And to North Carolina, Pivnichna Carolina, and of course to New Zealand. I'm always very grateful to you, beautiful people who wake up so early in Australia, who wake up so early in New Zealand to watch us. And yeah, I see that kittens are happy that they were greeted. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. And maybe I will read a couple of places where you are watching us from. And greetings to Netherlands and to Cape Town. By the way, you see that South Africa is very important right now. We have a lot of friends in the community from South Africa, and even though President Ramaphosa is not always the best friend of Zelensky, but people are, and I feel that great support. And also greetings to Scotland and UC. Greetings to Turkey. And you see that there are a lot of talks and conversations and telephone calls. That greetings to Argentina. I don't know if you know, but my father was born in Argentina. And greetings to Belgium and Colorado and Sweden and Lima, Peru. Eso es que bien, yo estudio español y puedo hablar más con mis seguidores de países donde la gente habla español y puedo hablar pretérito imperfecto. You know that I'm learning the tenses. So greetings to Peru and Canada and Norway. Maybe one day I will be able to speak Norwegian. That would be really cool. And south of Sweden. and Virginia. And okay, so there are a lot of things that, and Slovakia and the United Kingdom. And first of all, I want to thank all of you in different corners of the world that you choose to know the truth about Ukraine, that you choose to know the truth about Russian war crimes, and you select this. Like, this decision is not easy. It's way easier to hide from the reality, especially if this reality is not very comfortable. So now we all talk about the possible talks between Putin and Trump, between Putin, Trump, and Zelensky, between Putin, Trump, Zelensky, and the European Union leaders. There are so many different versions. And to tell you the truth, I don't think this can change anything. Like, if you ask me, like, the only thing that can happen in the result of this talks is either Trump and Putin will quarrel, which is not likely, or Trump will find the way to abandon Ukraine. That's what we think. I don't think any other options. But I have a question to you. I know that we also have a lot of people watching us from the United States. And I also know that even if you are not in the United States, you have your opinion about the location of this meeting. Please tell me, what do you think about Putin and Trump meeting in the United States in Alaska? And I will share with you some things that I have already analyzed here inside Ukraine, watching some of our friends' YouTubers, and interestingly, Russian propaganda, of course. Greetings to Norway. I'm so happy many people are watching us from this beautiful country that has so many historical connections with Ukraine. So tell me, please, in the comments. I will read some of our quotes so that this is in conversation. Thank you so much, Nail. Greetings to you and everybody. And Griana mode exists even without the green. Yeah, just like we are actually at the bottom of summer, and I've realized it was not very warm here in Ukraine. And like in winter, I don't wear this eyeliner, so kind of needed to use it. That was greetings to Brest in France. I know there is a beautiful dessert or something like that. So Putin is scared. So what do you think about the meeting in Alaska? Was Russian ones? Who knows? Okay, that's what, by the way, Russian propaganda uses actively. The fact that it was just like a Russian territory previously. Putin scares is scared, or I agree with Francois, of course, that without Ukraine, that is not a real negotiations. Closer, not too far away to fly. That is one of the arguments, it seems to me, Jake Bro mentioned, that it's pretty easy for Putin to get to Alaska, flying over the Russian territory, all close to the North Pole, and feeling himself safer, because, choosing the European direction and knowing the success of the Ukrainian ASBU operations, he may not actually reach the destination, which I think would be the best ending of the negotiations. So let me quote some of you. Alaska, because Putin can't be arrested there. Okay, in the USA, power to Ukraine. Trump is handing Putin a win. Well, never underestimate Ukraine. Trump is not almighty. Thank you so much. Trump should discuss to cede Alaska for Russia if you want to discuss some land ceding. Yeah, but I feel sorry for the people of Alaska. I don't want them to be given to Russia. By the way, do we have someone watching from Alaska? Greetings to Wisconsin and Pacific Reef. He can be legally arrested because there is a warrant for him to arrest. I'm not sure that like this International Criminal Court has like they need to arrest in the United States. I think that Taco should give Alaska. People, why are you so negative about Alaska? I think we should neutralize the greatest war criminal on the way to Alaska. That would be the best way, so that he even does not step on the sacred land of Alaska. His planes are not reliable, especially if we know what happens to the civilian aviation in Russia. But unfortunately, Putin perhaps is the richest person on the planet. So, yeah, Nail, you're right. ICC not recognized by USA. United States of Europe immediately. See, claro que sí, that would be really great. If you hold, well, like it would be actually great. Just imagine if the world was a healthy place where, morale still existed and people cared about the truth, the justice. Can you imagine this? Oh, it would be the best Bond movie. Trump stands to greet Putin. Putin arrives and then, like, handcuffs, and he is taken into the prison, wearing that uniform of a prisoner. And then a trial must be open, similar to Nuremberg, because I am honestly tired of people trying to find an escape from this responsibility, um, and like pretending that by sacrificing Ukraine, we can actually solve the situation. I'm sorry, I have bad news to these people who believe that by giving you up Ukraine, you can actually stop everything, and it's totally impossible. Let me tell you, like, maybe, like, I'd be happy to answer a lot of your questions, but um well, like, thank you so much, Thomas. Thank you for your support, and maybe let's discuss, like, the most important things that we discuss here in Ukraine, because I always try to translate, or to better say, broadcast an opinion here. Well, number one, if we wanted to capitulate, we could do it without the help of the United States. To give up our territory, to become neutral, to demilitarize ourselves, we don't need the help of Donald Trump. I'm sorry. And somehow, this cult around him, and people who obey in advance, and people who kind of demonstrate this tremendous it was so unpleasant, it was so difficult. Greetings to Balkane, thank you so much, thank you for your support. It was so troublesome to watch how leaders of Armenia and Azerbaijan, who actually discussed a lot and fought a lot, and then this peaceful negotiations process started long before Trump interfered. It was so, like, unpleasant to watch how they sank and how they worshiped Trump for things he did not do. And I don't know why people accept this kind of attitude, and they are not just looking at him like, oh, you're acting weird, and all that gold in the White House is not okay. Same as just a lot of things that you say and you do. Okay, maybe you are a choice of the American people, but I'm not going to say that you are the greatest person, the smartest, the strongest, the most handsome, and so on. And unfortunately, so many people are doing that, and not all of these people are stupid, but perhaps they are weak. And please don't think that about Ukraine and Ukrainians and those people who know what war is, who know the price of life. It's priceless, actually, but I mean, who know what's that like when Russians attack you at night, when Russians steal your children and then literally sell them on a web page. It's not something that you can appear, I don't know, in the presence of Trump and thank him for nothing. This won't happen. But I do have a lot of things that I would like to discuss with you, and it's not going to be the appearance of, Donald Trump or the bad decorations in the White House. It's easy, to return them back to normal. So let's start with, remember to like this video, because this helps us become more visible. Unfortunately, Russian voices are rising. They're trying to manipulate public opinion, and that is still very, very, very dangerous. So let's start with, I don't know, first question. Are Ukrainians prepared to cede any territories? Well, first of all, today President Zelensky said that no. And he repeated what like everyone thinks in Ukraine. And actually, all the people who want to live in a more or less safe world don't want Ukraine to cede the territories. Let me explain to you why. Number one, this war is not about the territories. It's not that Putin needs more oblasts or more resources or something for the Russian Federation. Russian Federation is already the largest and comparably extremely poor country in the world. They have a lot of resources. They even didn't start, digging. So literally, they don't need anything new. So it's not about territories. Then, another thing important. When Russia attacked Georgia in 2008, there was no reason. Georgia was not in NATO. It was actually when NATO denied Georgia from entering. That is a huge sin. And I personally blame people like Angela Merkel for that. We don't know what connections she had, taking into account how many Stasi were in Germany during Soviet times and that Putin was a KGB agent working in Germany. Coincidence? Well, maybe, but she is already in the past, which is good. When Russia attacked Georgia in 2008, that was a very dangerous, and oh my God, people teach me to pronounce the word precedent. Thank you so much, Ronald. Precedent or precedent? Because that's my problem. I know many of you told me how to pronounce that properly, but I keep forgetting it because in Ukrainian, so that you know it's an international word, it's a borrowing, and it's precedent. Precedent, that's the Ukrainian. There is існує precedent. So, and in English, it's, but the first one, precedent, like the president, Pat, I trust you. Good evening to Liverpool and special hugs to you. Thank you for your continued support and all the comments. I value that a lot. So that was a dangerous precedent. Precedent. Okay, thank you. And that was a very dangerous precedent because that was for the first time in the modern history, thank you so much, Duncan, that very well established borders of an independent state in a more or less safe parts of the world where people were following the rules more or less well. That's why they achieved a certain level of life. These borders were violated, but together with these borders, the international law that helped us survive for 50, 60 years in a very, dangerous area. And what did the world do? Nothing. Like some presidents, like the Ukrainian, like the Lithuanian, if I'm not mistaken, the Polish came to Tbilisi and with their presence protected the capital of Georgia from Russian tanks entering it. But part of the territory was annexed. What was the reaction? Let's not escalate. Let us give Russia this piece of Georgia and they will stop. Thank you so much, Pinbo. Thank you. Okay. Then what happened in 2014? Russia annexed Crimea. Thank you so much, Banked Peter. Thank you for buying me coffee. So Russia annexed Crimea, Donetsk and Luhansk regions. What happened? Let's not escalate. It was not legally acknowledged, but the world agreed that these territories are now controlled by Russia and let it be like that. Let's not provoke a serious war or something. That was the decision. And Ukraine was literally asked by Barack Obama not to defend Crimea. when Russia was still frightened, and they did not say that these are our Russian army. They were saying green men, and you could literally neutralize all of that green men on that peninsula. That was super easy. But no, it's dangerous. Let's not do it. Let Russia have it. It was something that these big countries agreed on. Did it help? Did it help us anyway? Did it help to prevent the big war? No, it didn't. It actually sped up the process because Putin realized you can kill innocent Ukrainian people, you can grab the land, you can put some fake quasi-republics into your constitution, and nothing happens. They keep saying, oh, he's out of G8. He doesn't want to be in that G8. He knows that G8 now is nothing. He knows that United Nations is not working, and he has serious hopes and expectations about the NATO, because NATO does not provoke Russia. I don't remember NATO drones crossing the Russian border, but I have seen a number of Russian drones crossing the border of Romania, Lithuania, Poland, not just one country, but many. And Trump openly speaks about, these different layers and different types of NATO countries. I'm sure you've heard him saying that, oh, the Baltics is such a complex region. Why is it complex? Why is the Baltic complex? These are all beautiful, neat, well-organized countries with one of the best people on the world. Why is that a problematic country or region? Because Putin may want it. So I am sorry. It's pretty obvious. Thank you so much to Balkane, and cheers to you. So it's pretty obvious that giving more and more territories to Russia only makes its appetites larger. In Ukraine, we call it Salami tactics. When Putin gets new and new and new pieces of Ukraine, as a prize for being a bloodthirsty war criminal, for being a dictator of Russia for 25 years, for murdering Ukrainian children, stealing them, organizing filtration camps, killing journalists, threatening the world, causing hybrid attacks on your countries. And as a prize to that, he gets new Ukrainian territories. People, this is insane. Tell me, please, how did we get into this situation? Tell me, please, how did we get into this situation that even after so many appeasements of Putin failed, people still believe this will work? Greetings to the Netherlands. So, of course, we have our soldiers, we are our people, we are our territories, and these are not just territories, these are people who are suffering from Russians, who are tortured for speaking Ukrainian, who are killed for carrying a Ukrainian flag in the 21st century. And okay, this is the aspect. I'm not going, I have a lot of videos about nuclear powers that we had to give up, Budapest Memorandum. I'm not even mentioning that. I'm not even mentioning that because people, I know the world does not care about Ukraine. Okay, I don't mean you. I mean, globally, they think, okay, let's sacrifice Ukraine. But forget about Ukraine, boys and girls and kittens. Think about the world order. You need that world order. That's just like traffic on the road. Because if Putin turns out the winner, after you've seen him destroying Kakhovka Dam, after you've seen students killed in Bucha with their hands behind their back tied, I don't know why, there are lots of stories that trigger me, but one of them triggers me specifically. I don't know if you have heard. Ukrainians want to join NATO greatly, and I think that Ukrainians deserve to be in NATO more than anyone else on this planet. But NATO is afraid of Russia, and Putin has a veto inside NATO. So literally, Putin is the leader of NATO now. Like it if you agree with me, unfortunately. So I'm sorry if I'm emotional, but that was what I was thinking about. Thank you so much, Kelly. Perhaps that's to cool me down. I hope you like someone told me beautifully that green eyeliner means angry on a regime. Well, maybe. So, returning back to this ceding of Ukrainian territories, that it will help. Forget about Ukraine. Think about the world order. Imagine that you have a bad neighbor. You don't like her. She's grumpy. She's not very clean. I don't know. You don't like her. Maybe you don't like Ukraine. You have a right not to like Ukraine. But when a maniac comes and I don't know, rapes that neighbor, you can hear that, you can see that. And she lives in a house next to you and you do not interfere. You say, like, I didn't like her. You have to care about that criminal, about that rapist, about that murderer that can come into your room next because he's there. He is your problem, not your neighbor. You may not visit her in the hospital. You can forget about her after you save her from that maniac by arresting him, by neutralizing him, by protecting your children, your wife, and other homes on your street from that person. That is what we are talking about. It's not about whether you like Ukraine or not, our president, our children, our raccoons, whatever you may not like. But the world has to act as a policeman against Putin, against Xi Jinping, against North Korea and Iran. Do you think with all this knowledge, with all these technologies that they have already developed, they will sit and observe the prosperity of the United States, or they will won't cause problems in France? Do you really think they are not going to use that against us, against you? Okay, thank you so much, Sirshum. So it's about global security, of course. It's very much about global security, and it has always been. China openly says we won't let Russia lose. I didn't hear it from the United States saying about Ukraine. Okay, I know there are a lot of good people who say that in the United States that they are tired of being this global policeman from the support and money that you spend on Ukraine or other countries. I have an answer for you. Okay, you want to go back into your shell or something, you want to hide. Thank you so much to Balkan. Well, first of all, to tell you the truth, I'm sometimes tired too, and I also want to hide and sometimes don't want to speak, but I realize that my country needs you. The same is about the United States. The world needs you because, kinda, for the last century at least, you wanted to be the boss. And the European Union also wanted to be the boss. We were looking at the European Union from Ukraine as it's something really big, and now silence, no strong voices, no leaders, no strategy, no serious decisions. Everybody's waiting. The United States want to go away from the stage. The European Union is waiting. What will the United States say? They may say nothing. But Europe is so big. Europe is so much richer than Russia. And imagine that the United States want to go off the stage. Okay, you have a right, but please understand that there are consequences. And if you stay far away from the European, I don't know, Australian, African, and Asian things, you become a small country, even if you are comparatively big. But if you don't have trade with Europe and Europe is all burned, if China stops selling you the resources and Russia dictates what Germany has to do, because not that far away, not that long ago, part of Berlin was Russian. That was, guys, when I was already born. That was in 1989. And Angela Merkel was working already then. It was not that long ago. They say that recently Russia, by the way, congratulated Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia with the date when they were literally annexed by the Soviet Union, when the history was seriously broken and damaged, and they were in prison of the USSR. Russian officials congratulated people with that. Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you. Why did they do it? Because they have plans. They do have plans. I'm sorry, they have plans for the Baltics. They have plans for for Finland, and they may invest a lot in various pro-Russian movements that may hide in disguise as very right movements in Poland and Hungary. And they remember the time when half of Berlin was Russian, literally controlled by Russia. They remember that. Okay, Iman, I hope I did not frighten you with my emotions. So they remember the time. So imagine, like, according to the Russian vision, according to the new world order that they want to develop, if you do not protect the one that we have, Ukrainians protect. Europeans think that will not touch. Like, I know we are Europeans, but I mean, and the United States, they think that nothing will happen to the world order and they will remain superpower without interfering. If you are not a leader, if you are not acting actively, you lose your contracts. People stop buying from you. People stop asking you. People stop considering your opinion. People stop caring. And then China stops selling to you the things that you need. And this and you may end up in 50 years as thank you so much, Eric and Harry, as a very isolated, not that rich like country. And by the way, many say that this growth of the United States as a superpower, as an economically strong country, was very closely connected. And greetings to Estonia, and thank you, Hugo, for your support. And when the United States became a superpower, a beautiful technological country, maybe not always perfect, but way better than another superpowers like Russia and China. Remember that when you start, it's problem of the Western countries, you often speak bad about yourself, but you forget that you did not build gulags. You forget that you did not organize genocides, after the Second World War. And Russia did that. Russia killed a lot of people in Ukraine and in Russia too. So it's not about let me continue. You see, I'm talking today a lot, but this matters to me, and I hope you will. Greetings to Rwanda. And I hope you will spread the message, or some things maybe we'll explain to you as we feel here. So the United States grew into that superpower after the Second World War. And do you know why? Because it was deeply involved in all the international affairs and it was treated as a boss. But before that, somewhere in the 19th century, it was not a superpower. France was, maybe. Austro-Hungarian Empire, it was not always like that. So if you break all the connection with Ukraine, with the world, you will become a small big country, if you know what I mean. And that will be bad because China will stop selling resources. They don't choose to get out. Like, it's your choice to stop being a superpower. But Russia and China didn't make a similar choice. And they will stop selling you rare earth minerals that you need for mobile phones. And your mobile phones will become super, super expensive because China won't produce them for you. Oh, why should it? Why should it if you are small country, even if you're big? This is how they plan to act. This is what they are going to do. And then you have to understand that Russia naturally returns to China. Russia is not Europe. It never was. With Peter I, somewhere in the 18th century, they tried, but they failed. It was a country greatly developed and influenced by the Golden Horde. And they had been vassals of them until the 19th century. So to tell you the truth, Russia simply returns on its orbit. They say Trump tries to break an alliance between China and Russia. He will fail. He will fail dramatically because Russia and China have way more in common than Russia and the United States, or China and the United States. How come you don't understand that? And people, uh, it's not because Russia was a communist country and China is a communist country. And you like, once a communist, I'm sorry, forever a communist. But remember to like the video, make it more visible to others. So no, it's not about like this authoritarianism that is built in. Of course, it's communism history, it's authoritarianism, it goes without saying. But people, you know what is the main, we may say, the main ideology of China and Russia? They are anti-American, they are anti-Western. I don't know why these Trumps and Witkoffs and J.D. Vances do not read what they write about them on Russian official state media, what they say about them and about you. They honestly do not say anything good. Thank you so much. Thank you, Erin. Thank you, someone. Erin and Harry, I'm sorry. Thank you. They are very naturally bond Russia and China. And I'm sure that Xi and Putin are laughing at what a perfect timing for the United States to decide to destroy the world order from the United States side. It's just something like they don't pray for, but that's just like a perfect timing for them. That's something, something that just like a gift of the devil for them. And to think that like by saying like we will trade with Russia, the trade between, I think that Putin does not have anything specific on Trump. I think that Putin and Trump share a mindset. Trump wants to be Putin of the United States. He won't be able because your society is way stronger than Russian. Even if you have troubles, if you have bad periods, you're not Russians. You know what democracy, what freedom is. Thank you so much to Balkan. You are the land of free. You have that in your blood. Even if some people are weak, tired, or manipulated, in general, your country won't let it happen. Thank you so much, Pat. Love you. But in general, he wants to be Putin of the United States. If he was able to rewrite the constitution, if you would allow him, if he was able to pass on this power to his son, for example, he'd be very, very happy about that. And you know, it's absurd to think that this is some smart geopolitical movement, and it won't bring lasting peace at all, because if you see that like America is insane at the moment, Europe is indecisive, why not attack Taiwan? I have people in the community. Thank you so much, Trev. Greetings to Yorkshire. I have a lot of people from this beautiful country, and they often express their fear, and they are right to be afraid. Because why Putin is allowed and Xi is not allowed? Why? And China is stronger than Russia. So then many people, you know, there is a word about nuclear weapons. We cannot do anything because Russia has nuclear weapons. Well, we have to think, what can we do? Because otherwise they will keep continuing, like literally with this kind of logics. Russia can do anything because it has nuclear weapons. So with this kind of attitude, Russia can do anything. Why not? It has nuclear weapons. So if Russia wants, I don't know, France or Sweden, you have to agree, because otherwise, Sweden and France, if you protest, you can cause the Third World War. No, not Russia. You. Thank you so much, Paul. This is crazy. And by the way, I have a different kind of argument that many may not like. It's a bit unusual, but I've heard it a lot here inside Ukraine. And military experts, thank you so much, Alden. Many experts, greetings to Georgia, many experts, military experts, I have to watch them, I have to understand what's happening. So I actually started consuming a lot of more professional content. And they say a really beautiful and important phrase. Thank you, Neil, for cheering people to like. And maybe we can have 1,000 already. That would be really great. So do you know, like one phrase that I keep repeating on the channel and people keep correcting me, but I mean it. When I say that, for example, Poland is preparing for the Second World War and buying a lot of stuff for the Second World War, people start saying me, no, for the Third World War. You mean for the Third World War? No, I mean they are buying the stuff one needs when fighting a classical Second World War style. And the modern war is different. And today on the channel, there will be a video that I hope you will like. And I will honestly ask you to like and comment, because, you know, we have this YouTube weather and now it's pretty bad and it does not recommend videos enough, but it will pass, you know. Maybe it's connected with this Alaska negotiations. They often bring some turbulence. But anyway, and with this approach, we thank you so much. So Poland is a good country. Thank you so much, Sir Shum. And they realize the dangers that Russia imposes. They've been in that trap already. But this is a modern warfare. And I had one Ukrainian expert saying that, okay, if Russia goes crazy, Russia sends like drones to some electric facilities in Poland, blackout starts, air defense is not working to that extent, and they can cause some kind of political problems. NATO is not responding properly, or they say, they say it's not Russia, it's Ukraine, or it's Belarus, or it's Lithuania, or it's Finland went crazy and sent these drones from Finland. And I'm afraid that NATO appeasers will say, maybe that's Finland, maybe that's Ukraine, who knows if it's Russia. Let's not think it's Russia, because Russia is a nuclear country and according to the script as you know it. But another thing that may not, that you may not like it, with drones, with long-range drones, and you know how quickly drones are developing, you may not need nuclear weapons anymore. First of all, drones can reach different facilities, and in the hands of bad people, they can target a nuclear plant. By the way, everyone in Ukraine is not afraid of a nuclear bomb because it's not very likely, and then people will have to respond, and even Donald Trump may respond. But every Ukrainian, and especially when there were a lot of that nuke speak, we all knew what is the closest nuclear power station next to us. We had Chernobyl. We know that. We know what's that. And for example, I know that the closest to me is like 106, like 2 hours drive approximately. And with the speed of this like explosion and radiation, I know that I have like an hour to hide, which is really good because it gives me time. And then you can spend with closed windows, like not open windows. And then in a couple of days, this dust falls. Like, we know these instructions because we know they can send a drone to a nuclear power plant and say it was a Ukrainian drone, say it was an accident, and no nuclear answer will come. No nuclear deterrence will be turned on. So you don't need nuclear weapons to be a nuclear country anymore. Please, like, change it in your head. Thank you so much, Marcel. Sending hugs to you. Change it. Like, you do not understand how dynamic the war is and how quickly it changes everything. So literally, when you send an inexpensive drone to a dangerous facility, and I'm being polite with YouTube, You get a nuclear warhead. And some terrorist regimes are already speaking about that, and it's dangerous. And why is it dangerous? Because you did not let us defeat Russia in 2022. The more Russians terrorize the world, the more bad ideas and methodologies will be developed. Anna is always polite. What are you talking about, people? Like Ukrainians do not cause troubles for the planet. You might have already noticed. No matter how much people betray us, we do not threaten the world. And Russia keeps threatening the world, but that's the reality. Please be realistic. It's possible to cause big trouble with drones without nuclear weapons, targeting nuclear facilities, or even others. You don't know how they protect that in Russia, for example. Okay, I look like someone's mom. I hope you like your mom. So this is all because the world allowed Putin to do whatever he wants. Kill Ukrainians. We've seen that. Oh, I wanted to tell you about one thing that triggered me and keeps triggering me. When Ukrainian reporter was killed on the temporarily occupied territories, and well, before that, she was imprisoned. She was a prisoner of war. She was simply a reporter. She was alone, a woman. She has this appearance that caught my eye, and it was an appearance I'd um, I'd invite her to Friends movie or something. This kind of nice appearance that you remember. She's like a girl next to you, and that's what like caught me. I would take her into a film like that. And she was brave enough, and she simply, thank you so much, Ken, and she simply wanted to record the events happening on the temporarily occupied territories. Just that, a girl, like way younger than me. I'm not sure, she was 30, maybe 32. Victoria Roshchina. And she was tortured in that imprisonment. And when they returned her body, there were no eyes, no larynx, people, no larynx. And lots of injuries on her body. What did they do to her? That was done officially in the Russian prisoner camp. That alone could be the reason for Witkov to come to the Kremlin and neutralize Putin once and forever, having this beautiful opportunity. And what did he do instead? He took a medal with Lenin to bring to, to bring to a CIA head whose son fought with Russians. And that is, by the way, you know what everybody's laughing here in Ukraine? Like Putin gave that medal to Witkov so that he would give to a CIA mother of a son who fought with Russians, who literally is a traitor. Thank you so much to Balkan. You are an angel of our society. Thank you. Yeah, so this is a poor, beautiful girl. How much hatred? How much hatred? Against what for? What for? What was she dangerous to Putin personally? No. And you know what is insane? What is insane? By the way, do you know what triggered her to go to the occupied territories? I had a video on the channel, I remember about that. In Berdyansk, they killed two teenagers that simply opposed the Russian regime and demonstrated they were pro-Ukrainians. They were like 16 and they were maybe of Tatar origin, very beautiful guys. Children. And she wanted to write about that. And you have Witkov taking the medal from the hands of Putin to bring to the mother working in the CIA whose son was fighting alongside Russian invaders. That is sick. And what makes it even funnier, do you know that it is no more an like actual medal? It's one of the most popular medals in the Soviet Union, like it was given literally to everyone. It's nothing. It's just like a scrap metal, just like you have like, here is a pen for you. You are a hero. Go. And the American representative takes it with respect and brings it. That's a disgrace. And I'm sorry that Witkoff is not a diplomat, not a politician, but I feel like he's just simply not very intelligent. Uh, so uh, I don't know how come people don't see that by giving, like by making Ukraine to cede its territories, which no one is going to accept here. Thank you so much, Rick. Thank you. By like demonstrating that it's okay to kill people, it's okay to occupy territories, it's okay to destroy nature, it's okay to steal children and then to sell them on web pages. For that, you get more territories and a sanctions relief, and all in the moment when Russia is on the brink of the economical collapse. I pray, I hope that Europe has a voice. Thank you so much, Duncan, and that they will react and they will support Ukrainian people, because that is happening on our continent, and it will definitely influence, like if Ukraine falls and Russia and China continue invading, it will touch Australia, it will touch Africa, it will touch Brazil, it will touch America for sure, but it may take 2 years, 5 years, maybe 10 years. Maybe you will bring that to your children because Trump decided so. You know, I have come up with one joke that I may use in future, and I kind of like it. You know what they often say? That like, okay, Russia wants these territories because let's take into account realities on the ground. Realities on the ground. You know that? Have you heard that? Like, let's be realistic. Let's take realities on the ground. Let's take realities on the ground. Trump and Putin aren't going to live in the world that they are trying to destroy or build as they think. That is also a reality. Why do we let such people decide what the world will be like in 50 or 100 years, where your children, grandchildren will be living? Why their insanity must be inherited by so many generations? When you do, okay, don't think about Ukraine. Forget about Ukraine. Think about the world order. You need it. You need it. You cannot imagine how quickly everything will collapse. And then when they say, uh, oh, just stop the killing, don't you want the war to end? I do. But can you imagine a similar logic applied in times of the Second World War? So if all countries, uh, if if both countries started giving up, like not both, I mean all, Hitler comes and says, I want to rule here, and they say, yes, let's stop the killing, yes, stop the killing, let's stop the killing. Imagine that all people say it back in the Second World War. Do you think that would be a smart decision? Because it feels like that when Trump keeps saying, let's stop the killing. For the sake of what? For the sake of more killing coming in the next years? For the sake of more Victoria Roshchinas without larynx in prison camps? Why do you think that's the solution? Why this advice didn't work out in the Second World War? Why didn't we use this smart approach? Because Trump did not exist. Oh, we're so stupid. We're so stupid. We decided to fight. It was so easy. Just stop the killing. Why nobody said that to Hitler? That is genius. That's primitive. And trust me, Xi and Putin are laughing at that. Are laughing. Then they say, oh my God, what a present. I cannot say of God. I can say only a present of devil. Donald Trump is. I don't think he's compromised by Putin. I think he is compromised by himself. Like there are lots of stuff, but I don't think that what leads him. His desires, he that is his style. Like our community shares similar values. Like we may disagree on some things. Like you may like some politicians, I may not, or just the country. Maybe we have different, I don't know, food priorities, or a little bit differently look at the ecology or trade or something like family life. But we share basic values, and like you like the way I speak, I like the way you write, we have this dialogue. This is what keeps us together, not the fact that you buy me coffees or I sell you t-shirts. Not that. That is somewhere on the periphery. And Putin and Trump also share this like lifestyle. They all like gold, they all like models, they all like money more than anything else. They all like unlimited power. There was a recording of Trump saying that I would like to be like Kim Jong Un because they are looking at him and like that with awe. As if I were, for example, a president, I would never want people to look at me like that because it's not natural for people. It's not normal. These people don't look at you like that because they are okay. It's a symptom that people are not okay. Then your society is ill. You don't have to look at anyone, like maybe at the woman you love or your newly born child, and then you don't keep looking like that for a very long period of time. Even when I meet my relatives or my friends or it's my birthday, I don't want people to look and cry at me. No, that's not normal. I want people to be normal in my presence. I want people to be relaxed. I want people to be curious, interested, but not because I will kill them or I will punish them, simply because they feel okay with me. Thank you. I'm really happy if I made you laugh. That's really good. Thank you to all of you who become patrons and support. Um, okay. So that is a serious problem, people. That I don't know, people are blind or people are stupid or people are driven with fear, but the world is different. The world has already changed. The world has changed in 2008, this world order. Maybe there are some other arguments you can give me, but when Putin invaded Georgia and the world said, let him have the Georgia. And by the way, if, for example, Russia and China are to decide the world order, and the United States slowly become poorer, just like isolated, a country far away from a lot of previous trade partners, cultural partners. It's like a lot of things that will shut down. I give you 100% that Russia will keep shaking that society. When iPhones become very expensive because they are not produced in China, because China does not care about you anymore. Now it still cares. Now there are still triggers that you can use to influence them. But later, when they see that, like, oh, they are way weaker. Now they know that you're stronger. They know that Europe is stronger. EU, I mean, because we're Europe too. I think we have very much Europe here in Ukraine, but they know that you're stronger. But they see that you don't want to be strong. Surprisingly, Ukraine wants. And yeah, I'm very beautiful when I'm mad. Thank you so much. So I really like, that weird thing about me. I typically cry and I'm angry about the only geopolitical issues. I very rarely cry of personal reasons. After I've lost my mom, there are literally very few things that can reach me deep. I filter that. But geopolitical things still trigger me a lot. Yeah, Ukraine needs soldiers, of course. And I'm okay with turning 41. So Another thing that we have to remember is that they will keep like witnessing this weakness in the European Union, in the United States. They will keep shaking the societies. And are you sure that in like 10, 20 years, they cannot trigger some collapses inside the United States? That they won't say, like, Texas, proclaim your independence. That would be a sin. That would be awful. Thank you so much, Oms. Trump and Russia relationship goes back 50 years. And these talks are not just wasted time for Ukraine. To tell you the truth, like nobody is going to, agree on ceding the territory here in Ukraine. Personally, I think, and let me know what's your opinion, like let me know in the comments, but personally, I think that Trump will bring Putin, Zelensky will be somewhere near, and they will say, like, come on, I have a peace deal for you. You surrender, you give up, you capitulate, and I brought you peace. And then, of course, Ukraine will say no. Hopefully, the European leaders will say no. And Trump will say, I did all I could. I stopped supporting Ukraine because I offered them peace. They didn't want peace. So I'm sorry. And then I am free not to do it anymore. So I think that's the stage. That's the staging. I think that's the way he wants to withdraw the United States. China says we will help Russia with everything, and we will not let Russia. We will not let Russia lose. And the United States will say, well, we gotta go. I think that's the plan. What do you think? Why do you think Trump has invited Putin to Alaska? What's the reason? I hope I do trust American people. I see this great difference. Thank you so much, Ronald. I wish that was Ronald Reagan too. So I do hope that I think Putin asked Trump to meet in Alaska. Here in Ukraine, we think that that's Trump making Putin come to Alaska because it's a little bit humiliating for him. Typically, it's the neutral place where they meet, or I was afraid that Trump would come to Russia. So this looks like, hey, come on, if you want it, you come. But like, of course, Russian propaganda will use it as Putin may actually return Alaska. By the way, in 2022, inside Russia, they had posters with Alaska Nasha. Alaska is ours. And it's really easy for Russian propaganda and for Trump-minded people to say that, okay, we made a mistake when we sold, we made a mistake when we, thank you so much, Richard. We made a mistake when we sold Alaska. The prices changed and now we want it back. Why not? It was a bad deal. We decided that now we want Alaska back. And what will happen? Like, what will you say? Russia is a nuclear power. Russia knows drone warfare. Russia is supported by China. Will you protect Alaska? Or maybe let's not escalate. Let's not escalate. Let's not cause the Third World War. And I wonder, why is it always like that? That when Putin attacks, when Putin destroys something, when Putin escalates, they say Ukraine can provoke the Third World War because you want to survive. Yeah, the sale was not legal, they may say. Yeah. I signed it with a different president. Now it's no more. I don't think they want Alaska, to tell you the truth, but they may want to shake America in 20 years so that you have something very bad inside your country and some states want out, for example. That would be a tragedy for your children. For like, you had a good country, everything was okay. To tell you the truth, sometimes it's um Kaliningrad must return back to Germany or at least to Poland. I think that uh, it's insane how polarized the United States have become. And some things you can see from outside. I'm an outsider. I do not speak a lot about your politics, about the senators, about the states. And I hope you understand why. I do have some of my opinions. We may discuss that in private, but I understand you know better. And it would be stupid from me to, comment on your country politics or on some parties in France or in Norway or in Australia when I know very little. But what I can see, and it's not directly, I mean, connected with politics, what I can see is that society in the United States has become very polarized and very like aggressive, non-tolerant to each other. And you were not like that. And I don't think it happened naturally. I don't think it happened naturally. I don't think this mega movement and everything happened naturally. Someone bad helped you, and it's not Ukraine, and it's not European Union. Ukraine has never threatened you with anything. Ukraine is asking for permission to defend itself to survive. And some people are not satisfied with that because they think by sacrificing Ukraine, it will and no, it's about the world order, people. It's about the world order. They destroy our world order. It was not perfect, but it helped us survive this 50, 60 years after the Second World War. And who did that? I am sure, Pat, I am sure that it's same like lots of immigration crisis and so on. Think about that. When did it start? Many problems began with Russia interfering in Syria. And trust me, many of these people even didn't know the way to your countries. I'm sure someone helped them too. Russia causes lots of problems. They cause chaos. They cause problems. They distract you. Putin actually, Putin. Thank you so much, Eric. I value that a lot, and I also value that you are a longtime friend. Uh, Putin sees that weaknesses, and have you noticed that no one interferes into Russia? No one did that in 2008, in 2015, in 2025. You keep saying like, oh, no, 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 that would be right. That would be, that would be. I think Russia can hold on until November. So a year and a half for Ukraine is actually good will. So yeah, Ukrainians were fighting and they are trying to cause this chaos, this turbulence to, invest. And I'm sure, like, that to start the second Chechen war, because Russia lost the first Chechen war, to start the second Chechen war, they literally organized terrorists in their own cities. That's the truth. There were FSB agents caught with explosives, and they said, we were just testing. And it all happened during this chain of terrorists that actually gave Putin more power and let them start the second Chechen war. There were no reasons for that. If they did that inside their own society, if they did that to their own people, their economy will collapse. I mean, they have serious troubles, and I'm really happy that now it's impossible to hide the symptoms with fixed prices. I'm sorry, that's back to the USSR before the collapse. They have a lot of leading enterprises, companies, and plants that started working 4 days a week. No, not because they care about their workers, like somewhere in the Nordic countries. Thank you so much, Neil, and they want them to have more freedom and more time with family. No, it's because they don't have money to pay the people. It's because they don't have what to do. Everything is spent on war, and war does not bring success because Putin promised he will protect Russia. And in reality, he brought war to Russia. Russia was perfectly safe. I'm sorry. It was a dangerous place, but from inside. But from outside, until 2022, Russia was perfectly safe. And now they have explosions in so many different regions. Russia is a no-fly zone. China won't do that. China won't do anything that spoils it. And how do you see them helping them with that monetary system? And what? Annexing China totally, annexing Russia totally. China won't give their money. Trust me, lots of things that Russia gets from China is for money. And that one of the reasons why they keep destroying their economy. So that is super important to understand that it is. Guys, do not overestimate Russia. Russia has a GDP smaller than the one of Italy, and Russia is the country that has 9 or 11 zones. Russia is a country of resources. Russia simply sells its resources, nothing else. It does not produce anything, and people don't have money to buy anything. Thank you so much, Peter. And thank you for your determination. And I want, to they don't have even petrol to buy enough. So it's a paper tiger or toilet paper tiger or a used toilet paper tiger, as you say. What we are going to do right now, and I want to ask my moderators to help me with that right now on my new channel, and I'm happy that our community is bigger there. We will share a new video, and I greatly invite you to watch that video, because you know what the title? What's the title? The title is Good Russians, Myths or Reality. I have a lot of people asking me about do I know any good Russians? How do I feel about Russians? Do I have friends or family? So if you are interested, you may actually find the answers in that video. And let's make this magical moment together. So I will share the video right now. It will appear. And someone of my beautiful moderators will actually, thank you so much, Michael. We need a lot of geography lessons, and someone of my beautiful moderators, kind moderators, smart moderators, strong moderators, best moderators will share a link, and later you will promise me that you will watch the video and let me know your opinion. And I'm truly asking for your likes and comments to fight that, YouTube weather that is not perfect. And here it comes. It's already on the channel. Thank you, Rudy, for sharing the link to the channel. But now you can share it in here, so people, I don't know, why wouldn't Putin be arrested, or better neutralized, demilitarized once and forever? Thank you so much for all the support that I feel. Remember, there will be one more video on the channel where I speak more about Bashkortostan and Tatarstan explosions. Thank you so much, Trev. Hugs to you, because when these two morons, I'm sorry, are preparing to meet on Alaska. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. That's really great. So when these two people, criminals, are going to meet and discuss the fate of Ukraine, which they cannot decide, because never underestimate Ukraine. We have to be united, and we have to understand, once again, you may not tell to your friends, tell to your friends that even if you don't like Ukraine, you don't like Zelensky, you don't like Anna from Ukraine, you don't like anyone, you don't like Ukrainian cats, you don't like Ukrainian dogs, you like the world order. That's what kept you safe. It will be worse if Russia and China are to rule. Trust me. I have generations in my family who suffered inside the Russian Empire, the Soviet Union. Nobody wants back. You don't want to live in Russia. Nobody wants, so don't let Russia expand to your countries, because Putin keeps saying Russia does not have borders. It's not about territories, it's not about the language. It's about the desire to change the world order. Speak about that. That is a very important message. And please remember to watch one more video that will appear on this channel. Thank you for all the coffee sponsorships that you bought. This helps me work more. Thank you for becoming patrons. Thank you for your donations. Jake Bro is a hero in general, mine too. So thank you so much for all your attention. And please, I'm asking you, be advocates, be ambassadors of Ukraine. Ukraine turned out to be way stronger than they expected. And it's not just about helping us, it's also about having us to help you in future. It's not about Ukraine. It was never about just Georgia. It was never just about Moldova. It was never just about some pieces of territory. It's about the desire to break the world with love. It's about the desire to undermine, like, once again, I do like this comparison with the traffic. Okay, someone is crazy, someone has a bad car, you don't care about your name, but you care about the whole system. To reach your house, you need a clean road. To survive on your street, you need to stop a maniac that kills your bad neighbors. And it is at this level right now. It's not at the level of whether you like Ukraine or not. Punish Russia, help us punish Russia, help us defeat and demilitarize this evil, and save more countries, maybe including yours, even if you are across the ocean. Thank you so much for all the kind words and support and comments. And I want to thank Michael and Philip and Martin. Martin, greetings to you and the raccoon, and Spencer and Rudy for being friends, and all of you who gathered here and who gave a lot of really good comments and really good ideas. And do meet that Putin on the Alaska and let the world know that maybe some weak, primitive leaders are prepared to give up, but smart people who care about the future of their children, who respect freedom, who've tasted what that is, who care about private property, who simply does not want Putin to be the leader of the world. I'm not sure like you want to see his Botox face every day on your TV. So let's stay united. Let's work together against that evil, and trust me, it can be delivered. It can be achieved. And I want to quote Spencer: "Support Ukraine in every way you can." By simply speaking about us, reminding about us. I don't know, wearing T-shirts. They do work as reminders and conversation starters. Donations. Address your senators, speak to those who don't know. And if you see that Ukraine triggers them, they don't like Ukraine, speak about the world order. We need police in this world, and Ukraine is doing the job. Thank you once again. Love you. Check the video on my new channel. Subscribe to that new channel if you haven't yet. And remember, there will be one more on the channel, my vlog about Bashkortostan and Tatarstan, because Ukrainian drones actually traveled really, really far away today and targeted an explosives plant. And the Labuha drone factory, the one that you recently saw in Russia propaganda videos where they described how huge that is. So the explosions were also huge. Thank you once again. Thank you for spending this time with me. You know I love you. You have a friend in Ukraine, and I'm happy that I have so many friends around the world. And I'm always very grateful when you speak with each other, when you develop this friendship, and thus make us stronger, stronger, and stronger. Love you. Slava Ukraini.